Welcome back. I'm Eric from Gagne Farms, and today we are going to be working on this well house. It's something I've been putting off for a long time. I really need to get it done. It's like #1 project on my priority list for this summer. So I got some time now. We're going to knock this thing out. We actually might have an issue with this though. I might have to call in some support. I got some visitors in there. I don't know how many, but it might get a little hairy. But first, we need to run to town, get some supplies, fix this well house up, and we're gonna come back and tear off this lid and see what we're dealing with. Let's go. Alright guys, I just got back from the big box store and I wanted to give you guys a quick kind of an overview of what we got going on right now. Quick backstory, about a year ago, I don't know, it was last fall, we ended up having to replace the pump in the well house. At the time, we found out that the bladder tank was also needing a replacement. I didn't have time at right then in the fall. It was right in the middle of hunting season, so you know, we gotta have our priorities around here, right? But so I figured, all right, I'm gonna get to it. I'm gonna get to it. I didn't get to it in the fall. Fast forward to July, and that's #1 thing on my priority list around here is to get this done. So what we're gonna do today is we're gonna put a new bladder tank in, and also we need to fix the roof. The roof has been deteriorating for the last few years. We're gonna put a new roof on. I've got some thinner OSB in the barn that I had for a different project, so we're gonna use that. I really contemplated and went back and forth with, do I put a metal roof on? Do I put the rolled roofing on just like I have it? And I finally come up with, I'm gonna go with basically the same construction I have. If I was to change this to a metal roof, it would be easier, it would be lighter for me and Candace to lift off if we need to get in there. But the construction is not conducive to putting a metal roof on. A lot easier just to put some OSB down and a little bit more rolled roofing. So that's what we're up to right now. This is #1 priority right now. We're gonna get this fixed up in the next few days here. I don't know if I can get it all done in one day or not. I'm gonna attempt it. Okay, now we gotta talk about the problem. I need to adjust the pressure switch on my pump. It every once in a while goes off. I have to go in there and just kind of flick the switch and it turns back on. It's like set right on the kind of the hairy edge there. So while I'm in there, we're gonna just mess with that pressure switch a little bit. But the reason I say that is because me and Candace have had to come out here quite a few times, lift the lid up on the well house, flick the switch, get the pump going, everything's good. Only takes a second, but with doing that, it actually, if you can see that little rag right there, it kind of tore up some of the OSB on the outside of it, and there was a hole there. So I just shoved the rag in the hole just to keep any large critters out. Well, the other day I was sitting right about where I'm sitting right now, and something came over and stung me right on the wrist. And I don't know if it was one of my bees or if it was a wasp or hornet. I don't know what it was. Didn't get a good look at him. But needless to say, the last week or so, I've seen something flying in there. I don't know if it's one of our bees, but I'm very nervous to lift that lid right now and find out if there's a swarm of bees in there or hornets or what. This might sound silly. It might look stupid. I don't know, but I'm going to actually go get my bee suit on, and I'm the only one here right now. I only have the one suit anyways. I'm gonna try to lift the lid so we can start working on the inside in there. I don't know if I can get it off. It's a very heavy lid. It doesn't look like that heavy, but Trust me, it is. Usually takes 2 people, and you have to really kind of work at it, getting it off. I'm afraid if I start messing with it and a swarm comes out or something, might get stung. I don't know what's going to happen. But I actually have Roscoe on backup. He's at home right now, and he said he would come over if I needed and help me lift the lid off this thing. We both have suits on. I do have like wasp killer stuff. I'm just hoping there's nothing in there. And I've seen them. I seen one this morning. That's where I saw I'm erring on the side of caution here just a little bit. So like I say, it might look a little weird. Maybe I'm being, just a little bit over anxious on it. But when I got stung on the wrist the other day, it didn't feel very good. That's what we're gonna do. We're gonna lift this lid up. We're gonna see what's going on in there, and then we're gonna start working on this well house. This might be a 2-day project for me. I don't know how much I can get done with it being by myself. We're gonna do what we can do. I know the bladder tank in there is full of water, where it's like past the bladder, so it's gonna be really full. Every fitting in there has been on for 50 years, so every time you go to move something or cut something, it wants to crush. It's all galvanized piping. Yeah, it's not gonna be fun. So we're gonna have the water off for a little bit. That's why I was in the barn earlier, just filling up some 5-gallon buckets. Yeah, I think I'm stalling. I'm definitely stalling. All right, let's give this a shot, eh? All right, guys. No going back now. So we're gonna give this a shot. I said it might not work. You might see me running all over the yard like a chicken with my head cut off or something. All right, here goes. Oh yeah, there's something in there. Something's in there. That sidewall is a little worse than I thought. Well, we'll worry about that sidewall. Secondly, I think what I'm gonna do is flip this lid off. We're not gonna keep it anyways. I am gonna keep the little trusses in there, but as far as the OSB and roll roofing, not keeping that. So we're gonna pop this off onto the ground and then pull that little bit of styrofoam in there off and see if we can't get these bees to vacate. They don't look like yellow jackets, so that's good. They just look like honeybees that for whatever reason was trying to find somewhere else to live. All right, let's do this. I wanna quit screwing around. I wanna get to building this well house here. All right, I found the culprit. Okay, this is what's gonna happen. I'm gonna show you real quick, but we're going to get us some wasp killer. So that's what it was. I had smashed a real little wasp nest on the overhang of the house a couple weeks ago. Looks like they're finding a new spot, but I'm not screwing around with that stuff until I know I've got a can of wasp killer around here. I just gotta find it. So I'm gonna set you down, go find that. We're gonna spray this nest real good. I'm not screwing with it. I'm not lighting it on fire and playing with it or nothing. Well, I guess I lied. I looked everywhere around here for some wasp killer. I can't find it. I thought I had another can from last year. So we're just unloading the truck and we're gonna go up and get a can of wasp killer, spray these guys, and give them a few minutes to chillax. This stuff gets heavier every time I move it. All right, just got back from the store, guys. Got some wasp and hornet and yellow jacket killer here. It says on the thing to not use it until dusk and pretty much spray the whole can on it. I don't know, I really wanted to get in there working on this today, but might have to spray it tonight, wait and start on it in the morning and then knock it out all in one day, because my problem is it's gonna rain tomorrow night, I believe. I'm gonna go check the weather. if I do this, I gotta make sure everything's ready to go. So I think what I'm gonna do is I probably will wait till nighttime to hit these guys, and I'm gonna go through all this stuff, make sure all my fittings are the right size, make sure my hose is the right size here, which I'm sure it probably is. Just make sure I got everything connects up. I might glance in that well house quick and make sure those fittings, I got all the stuff I need. I don't think it's gonna take long to install this at all. It's just gonna sucks because I really want to get this done today, but I do have tomorrow. I can work on it. Just want to get everything out of the box and see, I got the wrong fitting already. I can tell. See, that's why I do that, because I probably got this set up in the well house and then have the wrong fitting, have to go back to town. So we're gonna make sure we got everything, so it's gonna go smooth tomorrow. So far I'm 0 for 1. I always joke with Candace because it seems to be, it's always whatever plumbing project I'm doing around here, I have a minimum of 3 trips to the hardware store because of a wrong fitting or forgot something. So this will be, well, if you count the wasp spray, I've already been to town twice today. Looks like I'm going a 3rd time. All right, again, I might look a little funny out here with my bee suit on in the dark, but I'm not getting stung by these hornets. So we're gonna go spray this well house over here, and then we're gonna go inside and let it sit overnight. Morning, everybody. Mama deer's around here somewhere. All right, let's check out these wasps, see if we got rid of them last night. And I got a little story for you too. I don't see any. All right, so here's my story. I woke up about 3 o'clock in the morning and I kept hearing something turn on out here. I opened up the window and I looked out here, and I could hear this pump turning on. It would turn on and then shut off for like maybe 20 seconds, 30 seconds, and would turn back on again. I don't know what's going on, so I just came out here, I unplugged it quick. I got a kid inside, needs to take a shower quick. The water actually still works, I just gotta plug it in. So we're gonna plug it in, let these kids shower up, and then we're gonna take one more trip to town to get that coupling that I need, and we're gonna come back and start working on this. I'm gonna check the pressure gauge here too. And we're not catching prime either. It's coming. There's a little pressure gauge right there. Yeah, it's coming up. So yeah, needless to say, I've had an exciting few days around here. It's not coming up like I want. I think I'm gonna have to prime this pump real quick. I'm gonna run inside and see if we got water going or not. She might have already turned the shower on. Yeah, it just came up and shut off. It's at the pressure we normally like to have. I don't know what. Last night it would come up to pressure, shut off. I could watch the gauge go down. I checked every fitting, every faucet out in the barn, down in the basement, everything I could think of. I couldn't find anything, but I laid back down and the only thing I could think of was maybe something with this garden hose that I have for the out here at the garden. But I don't see any. I don't know. I don't see anything crazy. I typically shut this off right here at the hose, and that's shut off. There's no big puddle of water. I don't know. All right. So going back to our original plan, let these kids shower up. Oh, when I was out here at 3 o'clock in the morning, I decided to give that wasp nest another shot of spray. So it got 2 dosings, and I didn't see a wasp last night. I didn't see anything over here right now. So I think we're in the clear. Not sure if you guys have roundabouts where y'all live, but it's becoming the new thing around here. It's actually kind of convenient. I'm not gonna lie. As long as you know how to transverse the roundabout itself. If you don't, maybe you should not drive because they're pretty easy. You just have to yield to the left. That's it. Harvesting this wheat field already. And the straw. Go get them, boys. Just got back home. Was getting everything set up. As you can see, I have my bee suit on yet again. And I just seen another wasp over here. So what I'm going to do, give these guys a good shot quick. And then I'm going to rip that nest off and flip the lid back. And I only seen one. He must have been a straggler from somewhere. I don't know where he came from. Anyway, I'm going to do that. Give that guy just a hot minute. And then we're going to start tearing into this. Just getting parts around, tools around, stuff like that. All right, I finally got these guys out. I just took that little wasp nest down. I may see a stray wasp or two, but all right. So anyways, we're going to get this going. We're going to shut the water off, pull the plug on it. We're going to go open up a valve around here, make sure there's no pressure on the line. And then we're going to get ripping this old tank off. And I'm going to clean up some of the schmutz that's in here too. And maybe get a little vacuum cleaner out, clean some stuff up. So I want to preface this whole thing. This is not a how-to video by any means. I'm not a plumber. I'm not a well guy at all. I just need to put a tank in. So take it for what you will. I'm sure there's a lot of professionals out there that are going to be doing, face plant because I'm doing something wrong. So be kind in the comments. All right, let's get this guy shut down. All right, pumps off. Go open up a couple of these valves here. I'm going to open up the barn one. It's the closest to the well house. And I got a bucket of water here. That's just in case something happens. We need to flush the toilet, feed chickens, whatever. Feed chickens, water chickens. All right, since this plug is still alive here, I'm just gonna put a bag over it. I don't know how much water I'm gonna have spraying around. So this well house was put in when the house was built, obviously. I believe it was in the late 60s. So yeah, there's lots of funky stuff like this. Is probably not to code these days. Regardless, I typically make every attempt to make things right to today's standards that I can. And basically, that's just for our own safety. That's why those standards are set in place. It's not a conspiracy to have standards. So this tank has water in it. I'm gonna see if I can't siphon some of this water out. I don't know if I can or not. So this is the problem. My tank is full of water and the bladder has been broke inside. So we're gonna try to get as much water out of this tank as we can because I don't want to mess around with this whole thing being full. I think it's a, I don't know, 10, 15 gallon tank. I'm sure it's gonna get heavy. All right, maybe got a gallon or two out of this tank. There's still some water and schmutz in there, but I'm gonna go ahead and heat up this fitting and see if I can't get this guy loose here. So we just need to take this off, and that's about it. But we're gonna throw some heat on it. He said this is I don't know when this guy was installed. I really don't know. I really don't feel like busting a fitting though, so we're just gonna throw a little heat to it. Usually a little bit of heat and get it to roll off. And give this guy a turn to see what happens. Might be a little messy. Oh, well, she went in the wrong spot, but she did move. Okay, she moved, guys. Ooh, that's my biggest fear right there. Wasn't gonna get her to move it all for me. I was trying to save this coupling here too. Yeah, it's coming off. Okay, so I'm gonna block up this tank here. I don't want it popping the fitting or anything. And I got some wood here, so I'm just gonna shove some scrap wood underneath this guy. Yeah, we got some water coming here. I'm gonna see if I can capture that with Give me that guy there. Hey, not bad. I'll take that. I'll take that any day of the week. We just got a little bit of pressure here on this line. Let that guy siphon off. So we're not going to couple this back up the same way with this new tank. We're gonna do something a little bit different. But I see I may have a problem of where I got to put that new tank. It's not going to fit in the exact same spot here. So we might be going for a fourth trip to town. Oh, she's full. Oh yeah. Oh. I'm just gonna put the fitting on this guy. What we're doing is we're hosing this. So I got a hose barb and then a 1-inch coupler. I'm gonna put a 1-inch coupler on, our hose barb on, and we're gonna put this guy in there. Gonna rearrange it. I have a hose barb for the other side. We're gonna put that on as well. Just gonna Teflon tape this stuff together. But while I'm doing this, I wanted to say something that's kind of always on my mind. Maybe it's irrelevant. I'm not sure. I know there's a lot of things that we do on this channel that are different from a lot of other homesteading channels. Primarily, we jump all over the place. We're always doing something different. So one video, might be canning something in the garden, and the next one might be doing the well house, whatever. But me and Candace understand that not everybody's gonna want to watch all this stuff the same. So I understand that somebody watching a canning video is probably not going to want to watch this video, and maybe some of you guys that want to watch a hunting video don't really want to watch Candace putting flowers out to the road, but that's just our channel. This is what we do here. We film what we do, and that's it. So I understand if you guys aren't watching every video. I totally get it, and if you do, that's great. But just know it, we appreciate all you guys being around and hanging out with us, because it sure wouldn't be the same without you, let me say that. So anyways, thanks again for you guys following along and putting up with our crazy homestead here. We got lots of stuff coming up. I've got videos planned, some cool stuff, some builds. I had to kind of repivot what we were doing this year, because just with the prices of everything so incredibly high, I had a lot more projects planned, and I'm not going to be able to get to them all. And the ones that I did want to get to, we have to do a little bit different. So take the woodshed for instance. I was going to build a real nice new shed, and that's not happening this year. We are going to do a build for the woodshed, but it's not going to be new. It's going to be junk out of the barn, because that's what we're going to be able to afford around here. I know a lot of you guys are in the same boat. Don't feel ashamed of it at all. I'm not. There's nothing I can do about it. Everybody's kind of in the same deal here, as far as stuff being stupid expensive. I even went to pick up this fitting right here at the hardware store this morning, and the lady at the checkout counter is like, "Oh my, isn't everything like super expensive now?" And we got to talking, and yeah, it is. And she's like, "There's nothing we can do about it." And I wasn't blaming her or nothing. We were kind of having that conversation. It was just funny that it's not just us. Everybody is feeling the same pressure. All right, enough yapping. Let's get this thing over with. Oh, okay. Same thing over here. Just gonna thread on another hose barb. So one thing with the new tank, they say to set it 2 pounds below your pressure switch. So if you guys are kind of watching this and wanting to do something like what we're doing here, if your switch is like a 30-50 switch, you want to set it 2 pounds below your lowest pressure setting. So that's what mine is. It's a 30-50 switch, or they probably call it a 50-30 switch, and I got it set, my tank pressure set at 28 pounds. Now the biggest problem here is seeing where we're going to be able to set this guy at. I don't know how this is going to work with the hose that I got. I think an 18-inch piece of hose or something. So what I figure is all we're going to need. We'll see. So we're gonna get this guy tight. I like that. Get this guy out of here, and we're gonna pop this tank in quick. I'm gonna scooch this guy around and see where it fits best. Grab my hose, a couple clamps, and hopefully in a few minutes we'll be turning this water back on. Really wasn't too bad. I think the worst part for me was have to deal with those stupid wasps. Let's get this guy down the hole and see what we can have happen here. I was afraid about that. Yeah, this would be perfect if I had two 90s and I could go about like that. But all right, so I know where I'm gonna put the tank. I am gonna just vacuum out this area. I can't put it here where it used to be. I'd have to have two like street 90s or two 90s on there and then hose barb that. I don't want to go back to the store, but if I put it right here, I can do a very nice slight bend with that hose right here, and it's not very drastic or anything. It'll fit real nice, but I want to get this all cleaned out before I go to put this tank over here. We're just gonna hook the hose up, and then we're gonna turn it on and see what happens. That's good enough for a well house, I would say. And we're gonna set that guy right there. And we're not hooking the pump up to the tank or nothing like that. We're just setting this guy, but we'll just kind of do one of these numbers. Yeah, I might have to cut a couple inches off, but let's cut it back a little bit. Should be good. Probably move that guy just like that. So I'm happy with that. We're gonna get this hose on. Boy, I sure hope this is gonna work. It's gonna make my life a lot easier. Okay, might have to just soften that guy up. There we go. One tip, always leave your fitting where you can get to it with a screwdriver easy, because you know what'll happen is it'll be, 2 o'clock in the morning or something. Something will happen. You'll have to be out here messing with it, and you can't get a screwdriver on it. And then you're going to be yelling at yourself. No. That is almost perfect right there. Oh, that could have been bad. There we go. Yeah, I like it. It's not kinked too bad or anything. That's what I was worried about. Having a bad kink in that hose, but looks solid. All right, we got everything vacuumed out. Okay, here's the deal. I did this today because it wasn't supposed to rain, and it just started sprinkling. Just looked at the radar, and we got rain like just off to our west. So just my luck. But no matter what, I'm gonna plug this in. We're gonna test it out. If everything goes okay, I'm gonna get a tarp set up here, and we'll just tarp over this. I could probably set that roof down real quick, just while rain passes or something. But this is just half the build. Just putting that tank in is only half the build. The other half is coming up as soon as the rain quits. So we're gonna plug this in, test her out. Keep your fingers crossed, guys. I think it'll work. It looks good. Now, we may have to prime this pump. We're gonna see right now. Fingers crossed. We got water coming right here. Pressure on that gauge is coming up. I don't see any leaks. Might have to prime this guy. No matter, it only takes a second. All right, we're gonna prime it. I don't want to screw around. So to prime this, you just gotta have a little bottle of water and back this gauge off. Now you're gonna plug it in, and you might have to put a little water down the hole. Whoop, that might have done it right there. Yeah, it's coming up. There's more water coming in here right now. All right, let's see if she shuts off. It's gonna take a second to fill that tank too. I don't see any leaks. Almost up to pressure. Hey, yeah, I like it, guys. I got nothing here. no leaks. I'm holding steady right about 46, 47 PSI on our gauge. It's about perfect. All right, I think that's a job well done. So I'm just gonna go inside, throw some water on, have the kids throw some water on quick, and just watch this thing pump up and kind of see how it's reacting. Everything's looking good. I just got the water on the side. I'm waiting for this to kick on, and I just want to watch it fill one time. There's a bubble in that line right there, so it's got to be getting close. Looks like we're just about 30 pounds. That switch should be kicking on here shortly, and that's a whole lot better than what it was before. There we go. This thing, if you turn the faucet on inside with that tank, you know, the bladder all out of it, it wouldn't hold any water, like it wouldn't hold any pressure, and it was basically an on-demand pump right there, well pump, and that'll burn that little pump up real quick. So I'm glad this is looking good. No leaks. Everything seems to be cycling the way it's supposed to be. I did leave enough room on this side here to be able to put some styrofoam. This is probably not working out so hot because I've got the water on in the house. Has a hard time keeping up, filling the tank and on-demand water. Yeah, I think we're looking good, guys. Okay, so this is the plan. I'm gonna pick up mess number 1 here before we move on to mess number 2. And I gotta check out the weather because I can't start working on second part of this here until I make sure we got some dry weather. Might have to be a 2-part build. I don't know. We'll have to see here. So I'm gonna pick this up and we'll get right back with you guys.